Hey, what's up, garden friends? Welcome to the patio. I'm outside the greenhouse. Been doing a bit of work all day with the students. It was a fantastic day. They were loading up on the buses. They are out of here. And I was going to do a little work, but I brought in a special gift today for our worms. I know I've neglected our worm Wednesdays now for a while, even though today is not Wednesday. This is a worm day, so I brought the worms some gifts. I've been very fortunate to have been given a lot of gifts lately. More than anyone should ever receive. My beautiful wife is pregnant and about to hopefully give birth soon to a child for us, our first child, and so we're stoked. And we've been showered with so much support and love and affection. I want to thank everybody who's not only supported us, but other people who support, families and parents and whatnot, because it feels pretty darn good. And so I brought back some stuff for the worms. I figured, I shouldn't be the only one to have all the fun and get all these sweet gifts. Although, honestly, most of the gifts I can't even use. It's for like a baby or something. Anywho, so I've got the worm bins here. It's actually heating up pretty nicely here in Northern California. And one of the things that we need to do if we want our worms to do well and to reproduce and to continue to flourish is we got to keep them cool, we got to keep them moist, and we actually need to feed them, right? Those are all the basics. And so I got a little gift here I'm going to test out. I got some leftover tissue paper, and so I'm going to show you a little trick on how we can use this to help our worms. Let's try it out. All right, so now first things first, as you can see in this, right here in our tub, this is just a hydroponic basin that I utilize sometimes as a big old bucket. We've been soaking some really thick cardboard. And now compared to the tissue paper, the cardboard I like to soak in water a bit longer, sometimes a full day, to really penetrate into that dry material to make sure that it's fully saturated. This batch right here is pretty close. The more you rip it into pieces a little bit, the faster it kind of seems to absorb. Although I still like having them in a size like that is fine. We pull off any plastic tape or material because the worms obviously aren't going to eat that. And so here we go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this tissue paper, which is dry, and I'm actually just going to put it right into here. And like I said, compared to the cardboard, this tissue paper that was utilized in a lot of gifts, right? So you see this all the time. This happens a lot after Christmas and holidays. It seems like you just have an excess of this material. I've never actually utilized it in the worms before, with the worms, but today is a test. Like I can already feel it soaking up all that water almost instantly. And so I'll stir it around really quick, and then we can add it to the worms. Let's take a look. So let's open up this lid, because we like to keep them protected from the sun and insulated from the heat and all the sunshine. So here's a top-down view of our worm bin. You see we got some material in there. So what I'm actually going to do is I've got this material, but you can see it's dripping way too much water, like just a ton. So I'm actually going to just going to squeeze off some of that excess, although the whole point was to get some water, so I don't want to squeeze until they're bone dry, but just to where they're not completely sopping wet. And you can see I've got this material here. This would have gone in the trash. And so now I'm just going to lay it out and kind of, and we'll see if the worms like it. And what this is going to do, it's going to keep all that material in there cool. It's going to keep it moist. And it's actually, hopefully, if this is just true paper, it should be edible. If it's plastic or synthetic, they'll end up not eating it. And then I'll find out, oh, that was not really paper, that was plastic, but it's tissue paper. So I'm pretty sure we're good to go. And so I'm going to keep that real wet. But you know what's nice is to kind of finish this off, I'll show you. I've got my cardboard here. And this is, like I said, this has been soaking since this morning. And so I'm actually going to lay it on there in sheets. I don't want to just throw it down there randomly, because I actually want to, because the layers on top help kind of cool and protect the layers below. And so I like to kind of layer it up, get several layers thick. And I do have a mister built into this system, so when the lid is closed and the timer comes on, it will get a bit of a mist to add to the moisture in there, depending upon how long I have the timer set. I can adjust that, turn it off, turn it on, keep it on there longer if needed. When I'm done, this is really going to help these worms because it's cool, it's moist, and it's edible. This is like having like a very well-conditioned, comfortable home or apartment that you could eat. Right? That'd be really hard. We'd all be big, really out of shape homeless people if without homes, if we just sat around eating our homes all day. Although we kind of sit around eating in our homes all day. I know I'm guilty of that. Quite a bit guilty, but here we go. So it's an edible, cool home that that worms will keep them cool, keep them moist, keep them happy, and then eventually, as it stays moist and softens, they can actually eat through this cardboard. Tissue paper is extra soft, so I'm sure they'll have no problem chewing through that. But this is always something we like to do around here, just because there's no shortage of cardboard. We don't use cardboard that has that waxy coating on there, obviously, because that wax protects the cardboard from moisture. These ones didn't have it. We also don't like cardboard that has like that plasticky outer layer. We want just paper, just organic material, and we soak it and keep it moist. If this ends up drying or something, if there's parts of it might dry, we could take portions out, soak them again, put them back in, whatever we need. But we really want to keep our worms at the right temperature, at the right moisture level, humidity. And the one biggest thing about us being gone for this last year, at least as far as the students being gone and our garden kind of slowing down, is that we don't have a lot of excess garden waste. We don't have any, there's not a lot of rotten produce or excess produce, or even from the culinary department. They're kind of scaled back as well, what they do. Normally they'd have a restaurant open almost every single week where the kids would be cooking and serving to the public. And that's been kind of, gone by the wayside. And so we're missing out on lots and lots of food for them. So to kind of make up for it, I'm bringing, coffee grounds, eggshells, banana peels, all the stuff I can for my own home. But then you can always supplement with some wet cardboard. It's not as nutritious, obviously, as actual real food, but it is something that they'll munch on, they'll live in. At the very least, it actually just helps regulate, like I said, the temperature and the moisture in this system. So it works out really well. We love having worms. Actually, I just had a student come in and get some worms to take home. She was really excited. I hooked her up, and one of our new students. So I'm really happy that she's in our program, and I could tell that she loved her worms. She's going to go home and try to catch a lizard or two, a little science experiment, try to see if she can catch them. Use different techniques, just for funsies. You know how kids are these days. They love to get outside and play with stuff. I know I still do, but for us, that's our worm lesson today. Keep them cool, keep them moist, and you can feed them all types of organic matter. And in this case, even something as simple as paper is actually edible for them and can be utilized in the system as a bedding and as a food source. So there you have it. Boom, tissue paper from a present to me to a present to them. All right, happy gardening, best wishes. If you've enjoyed this at all, I hope you did. Please hit that subscribe button, smash upon the like button, dig in there. We'd love to have you back, and so please do. Take care now. Bye-bye then.